Hello and welcome back to Sports Tavern Talk. I'm your host, Elijah Loyola. In this video, we will shift our focus to the Houston Texans, who in last season really struggled at the starting point of the year, but had a huge turnaround by mid-season where their defense got most of their wins and earned them a spot in the playoffs and a trip all the way to the divisional round. Coming into this offseason, the main concerns for Houston are on the offensive side and what can it do for the offensive line, as well as improving what they already have a strong defense. So let's take a look at what they did in this past free agency to address those concerns. Over the course of free agency frenzy, the Houston Texans had a very strong showing as they were able to bring back multiple key pieces and bring in some new faces. Starting on the offensive line, they were able to re-sign offensive guard Ed Ingram to a 3-year contract while also bringing in offensive tackle Braden Smith, who was previously with the Colts, to beef up the offensive line. But the main headline is that they were able to trade for Detroit Lions running back David Montgomery, who would definitely provide a big boost to the running back room and provide much needed help for CJ Stroud. Heading to the defense, they were able to bring back defensive lineman Sheldon Rankins on a 2-year contract and edge Danielle Hunter, who agreed to a massive 1-year $40.1 million contract extension. As well, they also brought in Buccaneers defensive end Logan Hall to beef up the defensive depth at the line in the front, and brought in safety Reed Blankenship on a 3-year deal from the Philadelphia Eagles. The Houston Texans were able to address some of the main positions they need to through free agency, but it won't stop them from heading into this draft class and getting even better at the positions they need. So let's take a look at the mock draft that I currently have for the Houston Texans for this upcoming draft in late April. Quite frankly, in this mock draft for the Houston Texans, it's more likely a BPA draft. In the first round, I have them selecting Caleb Banks to help out their defensive line even more. Then in the second round, I have them selecting R. Mason Thomas, an edge from Oklahoma, and drafting a lineman in Connor Lew, who's might be known as the best center in this draft class. In the later round, in day 3, I have them selecting a safety in Genesis Smith, one more defensive lineman in Rayshawn Benny, another running back to help them out in the running back room with Seth McGowan, and one more offensive guard in Logan Taylor from Boston College. Houston's main focus was the trenches in both the defensive and the offensive line. They were able to grab 2 positions for each side, but I quite frankly want to talk about a couple of their players on the defense, starting off with Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks is a massive, athletic interior defensive lineman whose rare physical tools and positional versatility make him one of the most intriguing prospects in this draft class. He has an elite physical profile, standing at 6'6", 334 pounds with a 35-inch plus arm span. He is supremely explosive and agile despite his massive size. He also has a corrective athleticism with a high-end lateral twitch that can show leverage's burst, length, and mass into awesome point of attack power. He shows a combination of both size, strength, including athleticism and quickness, with an acceleration that goes off the line with a good get-off. He also has solid knockback power when shooting hands against the run, and displays a good change of direction to pivot on oversets. R. Mason Thomas is one of the best speed rushers in this draft class, who shows a twitched up pass rusher with athleticism, physicality, and scrappiness to convert speed to power better than any undersized edge in this draft class. He also shows a supernova explosive ability and speed off the snap with a gravity-defying bend to run the arc at a high level. He has a high pass rush win rate that's never below 10 average, showing at 14% in the last year. He also shows an incredible motor paired with an explosive first step, field awareness to maintain rush step during complex move, and has solid upper body strength for an extension against weaker tackles. He also was second team All-SEC last year with 9 sacks and 12 tackles for loss. He shows a high floor and ceiling as a designated pass rusher to start in day 1. This mock draft basically fits a lot of pieces for the Houston Texans because they already drafted a lot of young pieces before in the earlier drafts. But right now, the expectation for the Houston Texans is to compete for another division title and develop CJ Stroud even further. CJ Stroud, like I mentioned earlier in the video, has struggled earlier to progress and develop further than he did in his rookie year. The Houston Texans need to find a way to get this offense moving and help CJ Stroud to develop into a top quarterback in this league. But this defense does get even better thanks to the additions they have made, and their defense will be one of the reasons that they carry themselves to the playoffs. So my expectation is to compete for the division title, win at least 10 games, and make it to the playoffs. That's all the time I have for today. Thank you once again for tuning into Sports Timer Talk. Make sure to like and comment on the video, and make sure to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and on X. And as always, I will see you next time.